Imagine a desperate monk in the 13th century sentenced to be walled up alive for breaking his sacred vows. His only chance at survival: to create the largest book the world had ever seen, in just one single night. As the hours slip away and failure means a slow, suffocating death, he turns to the one entity who could finish the impossible: the devil himself. By morning, the book is complete, but inside lies a full-page portrait of Satan, eyes burning, claws ready, staring directly back at anyone who dares to open it. This is the chilling true story of the Codex Gigas, the Devil's Bible. And believe me, the shadows in its pages run far deeper than you think. Welcome to Rick's Storyverse, where every tale begins with words written by human hands, yet some stories are whispered into existence by forces far older and darker than we can name. Hands are merely the tool. The unknown provides the ink. Tonight, we step into the forbidden halls of a medieval monastery and uncover one of history's most haunting artifacts. A book so massive it devoured the skins of 160 beasts, crafted by one man who may have bargained with the devil himself. If you love stories that blur the line between history and horror, you're home. Let's turn the page. In the early 13th century, deep in the forests of Bohemia, what we now call the Czech Republic, stood the small Benedictine monastery of Podlazice. Life there was strict, silent, and devoted to God, but one monk, known in legend as Herman the Recluse, or Hermanus Inclusus, broke the sacred vows that bound him. His punishment was one of the most terrifying fates imaginable: immurement. He would be sealed alive behind a wall of brick and mortar, left to starve and suffocate in darkness. No light, no air, just the slow creep of death. Desperate, Herman begged the abbot for mercy. He made a bold promise. He would create a single book so magnificent it would bring eternal glory to the monastery. A library bound in one volume, containing all the knowledge the world held dear. And he swore he could finish it in just one night. The abbot, perhaps amused, or testing his faith, agreed if the monk succeeded, his sins would be forgiven. That night, candlelight flickered in the scriptorium. Herman worked furiously, but as midnight approached, the impossible weight of the task crushed him. Pages upon pages remained blank. In his terror, he fell to his knees and prayed, not to God, but to Lucifer. He offered his soul in exchange for help to complete the miracle. According to legend, the devil answered. By dawn, the book was finished, every line perfectly formed, but as proof of the bargain, or perhaps as a final demand, a full-page portrait of Satan himself had been added. Historians tell a more grounded tale. Handwriting analysis shows the entire Codex Gigas was almost certainly written by a single scribe over many years, likely 20 to 30 years of tireless labor, not one frantic night. The uniform, Carolingian minuscule script is a marvel of patience and skill, yet the legend persists because the book itself feels unnatural. Picture this: the Codex Gigas stands nearly 3 feet tall, 20 inches wide, and almost 9 inches thick. It weighs 165 pounds, heavier than many grown adults. Its 310 surviving leaves were made from the vellum of roughly 160 calves or donkeys. To lift it today still requires at least 2 strong people. Inside its heavy wooden covers, bound in leather with metal reinforcements, lies a true medieval library. The full Latin Vulgate Bible takes center stage, Old and New Testaments copied with exquisite care. But the monk didn't stop there. He added Flavius Josephus' Antiquities of the Jew, Isidore of Seville's vast encyclopedia Entomology, a chronicle of Bohemia by Cosmas of Prague, medical treatises, exorcism formulas, magical incantations, a calendar, and even guides to the Greek, Hebrew, and Slavic alphabets. It was designed as one complete reference, heaven and earth, knowledge and ritual, all in a single colossal tome. But nothing prepares you for Folio 290. There, on an otherwise empty page, looms a full-length, nearly 20-inch tall figure of the devil. He crouches dynamically, arms raised, with a dark greenish face, dense curly hair like a skullcap, wide eyes with red pupils, large red-tipped ears, and a mouth open in a leer. 2 long red tongues fork from the corners like a serpent's. His hands and feet have only 4 digits each, ending in sharp red claws. He wears a white loincloth decorated with ermine tails, a symbol of royalty, marking him as the Prince of Darkness. Opposite him, a stunning full-page image of the heavenly city, paradise glowing in contrast, good and evil side by side, forever staring across the open book. Some say the devil page was the monk's tribute. Others whisper it was the price extracted. Either way, it's the largest known medieval depiction of Satan, and it's deeply unsettling, even today. The Codex Gigas didn't stay hidden in Podlatzes. By 1295, the struggling monastery pawned it to the Cistercian monks at Sedlec Abbey. It later moved to the Benedictine house at Brevnov, then to Brumov in 1594. It entered the private collection of Holy Roman Emperor Rudolf II in Prague, a ruler obsessed with alchemy, the occult, and strange artifacts. Then came war. In 1648, during the final days of the 30 Years' War, Swedish troops looted Prague and carried the massive book back to Stockholm as spoils of victory. It has remained in Sweden ever since. Today, the Codex Gigas rests in the National Library of Sweden, carefully preserved in climate-controlled conditions. It's rarely opened fully to protect the fragile vellum, but the entire manuscript has been beautifully digitized and is available online for anyone brave enough to explore its pages. Over the centuries, whispers of a curse have followed the book. Monasteries that housed it faced financial ruin or disasters. Owners repeatedly suffered misfortune. Some even claim the devil still claims souls who linger too long with the tome. Historians dismiss these as coincidence, the natural chaos of medieval life and war, but the stories add to its dark allure. Was Hermann's bargain real? Or was the legend born simply because no one could believe one man created something so enormous and eerie with such perfect consistency? We may never know for sure, but every time someone opens the Devil's Bible, whether in person or through digital scans, they feel it. That faint chill, that sense that human hands were guided by something else. The unknown ink still flows. And now, to seal this tale, here's a short poem from the edge of night. In Podlatzes' shadowed hall, a monk defied the wall. One night to pen what none could dream, or face a living pall. He called the dark when hope grew thin, and shadows answered fast. A giant born of skin and sin, completed ere the dawn had passed. Vellum from 100 beasts laid thick with sacred word, yet in its heart the clawed one feasts, his red tongues undeterred. Heaven's gates upon one side, the prince of night the other, a bargain sealed where pages hide between the saint and sinner. Through Prague and war the colossus roamed, prize of kings and thieves. Now Sweden guards what once was owned by monks among the leaves. One hand wrote, eyes still fear, yet something else supplied. The truth we chase across the years, where human hands divide. From cloister hushed to digital screen, the devil's gaze endures. A warning carved in vellum green, some knowledge still lures. So turn the page with steady breath, but know the risk you take, for the Codex Gigas rests the deal, no soul can break. That's another story from the edge of night. Please like and subscribe to keep the torch alight. Good night.